Well, Arizona State finishes the regular season undefeated at home since Kenny Dillingham first took the job almost 2 years ago. He has talked about activating the Valley, and today against BYU, it felt more activated than it has in a long time. Jordan Spurgeon, Jordan Ham, ASU beats BYU 28-23, storms the field not once, but twice. Kenny might not have been happy about it. He played coy in his post-game presser, but this was an interesting game, Jordy, from the sky. What were some of your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, just to put into context, first time undefeated at home since 2004. Cam Scadaboo was 2. Most of these guys weren't born yet. And first time they've reached the 9-win mark since 2014, so a full decade. Kenny Dillingham was on both of those staffs. I asked him the similarities, the differences, and he was basically like two very different teams, but it's the mentality. It's being able to overcome adversity and just keep fighting, and that's what they had to do tonight. It felt like, if I had to liken it to a Disney movie, it was the never-ending story. Because in the first half they were cruising, everything was going, and then it was, BYU really made a strong push, came back. Javen Robinson was what we thought was the game-sealing interception. Turns out not so much. They try to run the clock out. There's 1 second left. They have to get fans off the field. This is the second time that's happened. We had that at Texas State as well. But you survive, you advance, now you go play your rival.
And if you look behind us, I mean, yes, this really happened. The goalposts down. So
Yep.
They've mastered that this year, making sure the goalposts are down so they don't end up over in Tempe Town Lake. This game, though, so Cam Scadaboo, we know the season he's had, the Heisman conversation, 3 touchdowns today, really doing it all. I mean, Kenny Dillingham, when they were in the presser together, just couldn't stop, giving him some love on the chest because he has just been everything to this team. Did you see anything different from him today, or was it just more of the same?
It just felt like in this game, the best players stepped up, and some of the seniors who were honored on senior day stepped up, and Cam is both of those. And he has driven this ship for the offense all year. It was no difference. He was coming off probably his worst performance against Kansas State. That speaks to probably Kansas State's run defense. I also think Cam seemed a little beat up in Manhattan, but he came back really, really strong, able to find the end zone. It was typical Cam Scadaboo, and then Sam Levitt hitting Jordan Tyson. At least his first 5 completions.
This senior class, what they've gone through, the turnovers, the turmoil, and now they are the ones setting an example for a Sun Devil team that Kenny Dillingham said in his postgame presser, you're going to want season tickets for if you're a fan, because ticket prices like they were tonight are going to keep going up the way this team is playing and being built right now.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool with the senior group. There were guys that were stars, like Cam Scadaboo. There were guys that were stars at one point and haven't really found the field in Trenton Bourget, and guys who were former JUCO players that came on and really stepped up, like Elijah O'Neal, Emmett Boley. Like, we can really go down the list. Guillory has had some great moments as well. But this season doesn't happen if people don't embrace their roles. And this senior group really exemplifies that of course everybody wants to be first team, wants to go out and take the majority of the snaps, but that hasn't been the case for a majority of those guys. But when their number gets called, they contribute, and I think that's why ASU is sitting at 9 wins right now.
And ASU is sitting at 9 wins. Colorado lost to Kansas today as well, so don't know the full tiebreaker scenario. We'll kind of do the math on that in the coming days, but they basically control their destiny among some other things going into the Territorial Cup. So next week, obviously, always the biggest game of the year for ASU, more so this year than it has been in recent ones.
100%. And, I've seen plenty of games where the 4-win team takes down the 9-win team, or, whatever it is. They always say with records thrown out the window when it's a rivalry game. It feels like it's especially the case in the Territorial Cup. Tetero McMillan now has a record-setting career, most career yards for U of A. He just passed Bobby Wade today. ASU remembers what Noah Fafita and Tetero McMillan did to them last year. So by no means is it going to be a cakewalk. But ASU can put a real exclamation point on this season, and U of A is going to try to salvage some things that haven't really gone their way.
A lot on the table. Like we said, ASU has a chance at the Big 12 title game and ultimately the CFP as well. So wrapping things up here in Tempe, Jordan Spurgeon, Jordan Ham, ASU. We'll see you next week. Full coverage on Sports 360 AZ.